I welcome Pia Lејно, a writer from Finland, whose novel Heaven was published by the publishing house Artkonekt as part of the project Messages of Hope, Inspiring European Literature, supported by the Kreatивna Европа program of the European Union. Hi, Pia.
Hi, it's wonderful to be here.
Thank you for being here. Pia, your novel is written in the genre of science fiction, more precisely in the genre of dystopia. Why did you choose this literary genre?
I think that actually I didn't choose it. It chose me because when I started to write, I had only in my mind some pictures, for example, of the future's rainy Helsinki after climate change, and also about this virtual paradise heaven. So when I started to write it, I think it was a surprise for me that it was so dark, that background. But of course there is lots of light and hope also. So I think that for writers it's not so important that genre, what genre it is. We don't think it so much because it's publishers' work to try to figure out how to sell this for people and how to tell to people what this is. We are just writing something which feels essential and important for us.
Yes, agree with you. Genre is very often just a frame. You described a world in which people spend most of their time in the virtual artificial space called heaven. By doing so, they actually separate themselves from their real life and the problems that exist in it. How different is this situation from the way of life that we live with today?
Yeah, I think that we are already there, that we are basically escaping from reality very often to Netflix series and to HBO and to social media. It's very human to do so, because I think that we are apes who are living in stories, and we have done it all through the history, that we have invented mythology and religions and nations, and everything is somehow some kind of story about our lives. So now we are just doing it with different kind of tools and virtual possibilities. So it's nothing new, but it's maybe even more overwhelming than it used to be.
The novel contains a significant political dimension, especially in the context of the growth of radical right-wing movements in Europe. Does the political situation set in the novel represent a radical literary situation, or do you think that it can become a reality?
Of course, in the book, the situation is very extreme. The climate change has happened very rough way, and people have escaped, for example, from Africa. And because there are so many foreigners, so many immigrants, also those attitudes towards them has hardened quite a lot. Helsinki is very white, very full of apathy, and people are just trying to escape from that very depressing reality to the heaven, which is full of beautiness and relief. So I think that we are not already there, because I hope that we still have time to prevent that kind of situation to happen, that there will be so many refugees that people are starting to fight for land, but I think it's possible that happens in the future, that if we let our nature to destroy many places, and if there will be lots of refugees, there will be also those harder attitudes and maybe conflicts, wars, everything. So we have to try to prevent that kind of situation.
Even though the novel is set in the future, in a world governed by a different socio-political system than the one we know, The love that is born between the two characters in the novel resembles many love stories that we have read, seen in the movies or series, etc. Does it mean that you believe in the idea that no matter how much the world changes in the socio-political context, people will still remain connected and dependent on basic human needs and passions, which is love, hate, curiosity, fear, greed, fear of that we read about since the beginning of world literature?
Yeah, I think that romantic love is something which is changing during the history. It has changed and it will change in the future somehow. But those basic emotions and feelings and needs behind it will stay. And for example, people want to be seen, they want to be touched, they want to have sex, they want to, be important to someone. And maybe in my book, it's not so far away, it's 2058. So those main characters have something, they know something about our nowadays world. They have seen old movies, they have seen their own parents, they have lived in families. So when they start to wake up from their apathy, they try to find some kind of relationships with other people, and maybe they are trying to do it that way that we are doing nowadays because they have that kind of picture in their minds, but they are doing it maybe quite odd way, or it's not very easy for them because they have to find all things as an adult, which people usually learn in younger age, and it's new for them. But they're trying because they want to have some kind of connection.
To what extent do today's children, the younger generation, have a sense of difference between the real and the virtual?
I have two teenagers, and I think that they are living in different kind of world. They, for example, send pictures of their faces all the time to their friends, many dozens of pictures every day to the group of friends. And so they are using those tools, those mobile phones and other devices, different way than us. For everyone, it's difficult to separate virtual from reality because both are affecting to each others, and actually they are somehow same world after all. But I wish that we, all of us, young people and older people, would understand that when you are just communicating in virtual reality, you are losing something from that communication we have in real life, and so we should have also real connections with people, because in reality you can use so many instincts, so many things that you can't use in virtual reality. But maybe we all are learning right now to use those devices the best way. They are such tools. We have to be ready to understand what is good for us, and not just go with the flow and use them all the time.
Yes, I agree with you. Finally, for the novel Heaven, you received the European Union Prize for Literature. How much this award play a role in your literary career and boosted the reception of your book and of other works?
I think that it has been very important for me, because people have found my books so much better. There has been many translations. Rights of Heaven has been sold to 14 countries, and my thriller Apogee to 3 countries right now. And so it's wonderful that I got it, and I have had opportunity to travel and meet wonderful people all over Europe, and it's very important, that kind of cultural exchange with in Europe, that prize and this kind of events, and it's wonderful that we have that.
Pia, thank you very much for this conversation. In the end, it remains for me to recommend this exceptional novel to the Macedonian readers.
Okay, thank you.